Okay, so going to try to explain this chemical reaction and why hydrogen is reduced to not aluminum. Okay, so here's the word equation: aluminum plus hydrobromic acid yields hydrogen and aluminum bromide, and that was given on the quiz, and it looks like you got it right in terms of balancing it. Um, so the key is to write this thing out with all its charges. Okay, so aluminum, remember, metals all by themselves has zero charge. Uh, treat acids as ionic compounds, so HBr, so you can treat it as hydrogen bromide, where the hydrogen has a positive charge and the bromide has a minus charge. Just so treat hydrogen as though it's in the first column, like sodium and so forth. And bromide has one minus charge, and it's all set. Okay, and hydrogen, again, elements all by themselves will have zero charge. So H2 has zero charge. So that means there's two hydrogens, each with a zero charge. And aluminum bromide, okay, is an ionic compound. And write out its formula. Aluminum is Al3 plus, bromide is Br minus, and you need three of them to balance to make sure you have three minus charge to balance out 3 plus. And then you had to balance it, and that was part of the test. I gave you the 2 for the aluminum. Okay, and then so then you come over here and put a 2, and then you count number of bromide. You have 6, so you come over here and put a 6. And then you need 6 hydrogens, so you come over here, 3 times 2 is 6, and there's the balanced equation. Okay, so all right, so make sure you get. So when I wrote them out in the quiz, I didn't give you the charges, right? So the thing is hydrogen starts with a plus 1 charge, 1 plus charge, and ends up with no charge. Okay, and aluminum starts with 0 charge and ends up with 3 plus charge. Okay, so the way you kind of write that out is hydrogen goes from 1 plus to 0. Okay, so it had to become, so the number has to get smaller. Okay, so it had to get more negative, and the way you get more negative is to gain electrons, and I'll show that on the next slide as well. So hydrogen gains electrons, and each one of them does, all 6 of them. And aluminum, on the other hand, goes from 0 charge to 3 plus charge. So it got more positive. And how do you become more positive? You become less negative. And so it had to lose electrons. Okay, and I'll show that more specifically on next slide. So you can see that hydrogen, so gaining electrons is being reduced, losing electrons is oxidized. I know the words kind of mixed up. You think of reduce as going down. It's the number that goes down. So 1 plus goes down to 0. But to go down in numbers, it has to gain negative. All right. So I don't know, maybe that's what got you mixed up, but let's continue with a little bit more about it. So so aluminum, for aluminum to go from 3 plus, it would have to lose 3 electrons. So going from 0 to 3 plus, it has to give off 3 electrons to do that. And each one, so each aluminum would have to give off 2 electrons, 3 electrons. So here, this aluminum, this aluminum will lose 3 electrons, and so there's 6 electrons. Okay. Right. Hydrogen, on the other hand, goes from having a plus, and there's 6 of them. Okay. All right. And so, and it goes to all 6 of electrons get electrons, but now the hydrogens come in pairs. Okay. And now it has a 0 charge, so it must have gained those 6 electrons. Okay, so I have 6 electrons, that's hydrogens I started out with. They gained the 6 electrons from the aluminum, and the hydrogen becomes no charge. So the two aluminums lose 6 electrons, okay, which means it's oxidized. And the 6 hydrogens gain the 6 electrons, so it's reduced. And losing electrons is oxidized, gaining electrons is reduced. And told you a way to remember that. Leo goes Gur. I hope that helps you out. Okay.